This is the Rays PostCast, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
The Rays offense stalls as their winning streak comes to an end. Hello and welcome everyone to the Rays PostCast. My name is Jonathan Shields, and I'm going to be with you here after every single game, including the frustrating losses like this one. If you guys are still new here, please like and subscribe and comment. If you guys are in the live, please leave a comment. We will get to them at the end of the live like we always do. And I'm going to emphasize the frustrating in this loss because that's what it was. As we're going to talk about, the winning streak comes to an end. But there are some positives. Yandy Diaz has been on fire lately. Taj Bradley was very good without having his best stuff. And what we're going to be talking about first, and what everyone should be talking about, is this Rays offense.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The Rays offense reverted to what they were before the road trip. And I don't know if it's just playing at Steinbrenner. The Rays have now lost 6 of their last 7 games at home. And there was a point in time in this game where the Rays put together horrific at-bats. I wrote it down because it was from after Junior's home run and where it looked like the bats really started to settle in, from the 5th inning until the 7th inning. The at-bats were horrible outside of Yandy Diaz and Danny Jansen's at-bats. The rest were terrible. Curtis Mead came in to pinch hit. He was awful. And I remember Caballero had a really bad at-bat where he struck out on 4 pitches, and that bats just weren't up to standard. There's one time where the Rays got 2 outs on 2 pitches in this game, and just frustrating to see when it really looked like they were starting to get Lorenzen out of his groove, out of his comfort zone. And then they kind of, again, reverted back to where they were before this road trip. So it's just very, very frustrating to see. And anytime you only score 1 run, it's going to be frustrating. But it's not like the Rays offense was lighting on fire. The last 3 games, they only scored 9 runs. So it's not like there was some juggernaut all of a sudden, but it was the misses in big spots. It was the big hits that didn't result in anything. Like Junior was fantastic tonight. His home run was loud. His single 116 off the bat. Are you kidding me? That is just electric stuff. And then you got guys like Jonathan Aranda, who's in a little mini slump now. You got Cameron Meisner, who's in a little mini slump now. Those guys who were carrying this offense while Yandy was getting it going are now regressing back to the mean a little bit. And the new question for Aranda and for Meisner is, what is their mean? What do they have to regress back to? What is Aranda, a 270 hitter? Is he a 250 hitter? Is he a 290 hitter? Because obviously he was going to hit 370, and now he's below 300 for the first time this year. And he went 0 for 4, and he came out in some big spots and could not show up. Same with Meisner. Meisner, you see he has a really quick leash. And I know that they pinch hit him left on left. I know that's what Cass loves to do, but just frustrating to see where this offense is at after we really thought we saw them turn a corner. And now it looks like Yandy's starting to turn it on. Looks like Junior's starting to turn it on. And I swear there is not a more unlucky player in baseball than Brandon Lau. That guy smokes the ball. And he has to have more hard hit outs than anybody, not even on this team, in the major league. So before we get to our next segment, again, if you're in the live, leave a comment. We'll get to it at the end of the video or end of the live. If you guys are watching the replay, leave a like, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watching the replay on YouTube. Our numbers were great during the winning streak. And I know during losses, I don't know if people like to watch more or less, but keep pounding the like button, keep promoting it as we continue to build this community. This is one of the best parts of my day, being able to do this, and I'm happy to share this with all of you. As we get to Yandy Diaz, let's talk about some good news, right? The offense was bad. Let's talk about some good news, right? The Rays have now still won 5 of 6. Again, we talked about the road trip coming into this. We would have taken 5-1 on the road trip, but Yandy Diaz the last 6 games. Again, I've said it. I've been on record. I think he's the heartbeat of this team. And in his last 6 games, 10 for 25, 2 walks. He's hitting 400. He's doing his job, and he's putting really good contact on the ball. And most importantly, he's coming up in big spots and producing in big ways. Again, you think about the Padres series. He was huge in that series. All he did was hit with key moments. Same in Arizona. And today, it seemed like they couldn't get him out. And if Simpson would have found a way to reach there in the 9th, you just knew Yandy was going to come up big. And I like the way that Cash is moving him around the order. He's first one game. He's third one game. He's second. You wouldn't be surprised. I don't think about him for, but it wouldn't surprise me if he hit 4th tomorrow. Maybe they put him back to first. And I hope they still hit Simpson first. I hope this one game didn't turn Cash off, and I doubt it will. It's just one game out of 130 left. But I think this top 5 is going to be their top 5. I've been documented saying it. You guys have me on the record. This should be their top 5, even when Josh Lowe comes back. It should be Simpson, Lau, Diaz, Jr., Aranda in any order. Then when Josh Lowe, and we got good news about Josh Lowe. He had a really good BP today, and they're hopeful to get him back. He's right on time for his timeline. So again, if we can get him back, it just lengthens the lineup even more. And I thought, speaking of good news, really good to see Danny Jansen get some good swings on the ball, and that was really encouraging to see, because when you look at this lineup and you see Danny Jansen come up, it's like, man, he's hitting $150. Like, that's not any good. Had a really good at bat for that single, and just missed a home run. Just got jammed enough to have that ball fall short. So really good to see him continue to do well. And the key, as we are going to talk briefly about the winning streak ends, and the Rays, I feel like, never score first in these games. I know they put the stat the Rays were 8-2 when they scored first, and I can't even believe the Rays scored first 10 times, if I'm being honest. It feels like they never score first. And again, it's the timely hits for the Royals. They had a sac fly, but the other 2 runs came with 2 outs, and it's just these back-breaking hits. Obviously, Salvi had the double in the first, and then the one in the ninth was just back-breaking. And the way the Royals scored is the way the Rays scored, or at least used to score. The Rays don't have great base run anymore. The Royals had great base running and timely hitting, and that's how they got their 3 runs. The Royals came into this game second to last in the league in offense. Like, that's how bad that they've been. Outside of Bobby Witt, they don't have a pulse on offense. And Witt continued his win streak. I thought it was going to be positive. At least we ended his hitting streak. Nope, he's still hitting. He's one of the best players in baseball. But it was the others that stepped up in big spots. And that's what the Rays need to continue to get. As if Yandy continues to get back to his average. Like, yeah, Yandy is going to hit 280 this season. He's just too good not to. But until Brandon Lau gets hot, until these other guys get hot, can Cam Reisner continue to hit? Can Danny Jansen start to get hot? Can Cabby keep hitting like he was during a point? I think those are going to be huge keys going into the rest of the season. We're going to talk about Taj Bradley and how he was great without having this great stuff right after this. This episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no shells variety. It's a perfect grab and go snack for busy days, whether I'm snacking at my desk or on a road trip, or just need a quick protein boost before the gym. They're always my go-to. I love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch. The in-shell options are always my classic favorite. Get snacking and get cracking with a snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are here, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel, you place your first $5 bet, you get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. From 3-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. Let's talk about Taj Bradley. Taj Bradley did not have his best stuff through the first 2 innings, but the way he battled back, and I wrote down, he really settled in after the second inning. He walked guys, which I'm not going to say uncharacteristic for him. He does tend to walk guys, but you rarely see him with more walks and strikeouts, which is what he had today. And that's why I said that Taj Bradley had a great outing without having great stuff. And he's going to unfortunately pick up the loss in this game, which I think is a crime, because once again, the Rays do not provide run support for their starting pitching. This is a top 5 staff in baseball, and they are struggling to get any run support. And it's just frustrating to see. But anytime you see Taj only get 2 strikeouts, you think, oh, probably didn't have his best stuff. But he was able to get weak contact. He was able to limit the big hits. And then when you when you only let up 3 runs as a pitching staff, you should win that game. You should win that game 85% of the time. And the Rays too often last year and this year have not won the game where the pitching staff only allows 2 runs. And we know, well documented, the Rays, I'm sure they lead the league in losing games 2-1, 1-0, or 3-1. And we finally got to reverse that a little bit on the road trip. It's just something about Steinbrenner. I mean, losing 6-7, and the offense is just not producing here. I'll read you guys some of the numbers of their last few games at Steinbrenner. So this whole thing started against Boston on April 15th. They lost 7-4, and then lost April 16th 1-0. Lost to the Yankees 6-3. Lost 1-0. Lost 4-0. And then you go today and they only score 1 run again. So if you really look at those last 5 games, it especially hasn't been good. So I'm hopeful that the Rays can turn around tomorrow. It's sandwiched in between the Royals' good starters, and I don't even know if the Royals, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, have announced a pitcher yet. So it's sandwiched in between those 2 days where you have Lugo on Thursday and you had Lorenzen today. So tomorrow it's going to be Rasmussen, and I just checked. They're still undecided on who they're going to play. So tomorrow really seems like a day where the Rays need to take advantage of that pitching matchup because Rasmussen is dealing right now. So you need to get him going. And then Lugo was sneaky good last year. So got to get that middle game tomorrow and then go for the series win on Thursday afternoon. But let's get to some more positive news again as we talk about our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's our boy Junior. He was the number 1 prospect in baseball before he got brought up. He is now going to be the heartbeat of this team. Him and Yandy going to be the catalyst going forward. It's so good to see him have good at-bats. He tweaked his stance a little bit and immediately led to him getting a double, then that home run, and then just blasting that single. If Junior, I was trying to think, what's the baseline? Like, what's a good Junior year this year? Is it him hitting 260 with 28 home runs? Like, obviously, I would take that. But what would be considered a disappointment for him? And right now, I think he's going just above expectations, right? He's not all the way up here. If expectations are here, Junior is just a step above it. And if he just continues this pace and maybe a little bit more, I mean, first rookie year in the major is going to be fantastic for him. But he was so good tonight. Just his situational hitting was huge. When he gets that barrel to the bat, he has one of the fastest swing speeds in baseball for a reason. So when he gets that barrel to the bat, that ball is going to fly. And he hit his home run over 110 off the bat. He hit a single 116 off the bat. There's only a few guys in baseball that can hit the ball 160 miles per hour. And the Rays are blessed to have one of them on their team. It was really, really good for them to see. And now we're going to get to the comments. So if you guys have a comment, please leave it in the comments right now as we're going to get to it as we get to our guy Gary in here every night. He loves Chandler in that leadoff spot. I hope they keep him there. I agree. And if they don't hit him leadoff, I hope they hit him ninth, kind of that second leadoff, as they would call it. But yeah, I think tomorrow he'll still get a crack at it, unless I don't know what the Royals are going to do unless they pitch a lefty, which I doubt that they would do. But I would assume they leave Simpson there, keep that top 5, and then rotate the rest from there. As we go to, let's see, who else is in here? I'm seeing a lot of people saying, what's up? What's up, everyone? It's good to be back. Long off day yesterday. As we get to Michael Dean, positives, Taj battled through 7 strong innings. I agree. And battled is a really good word there, as he didn't have his best stuff. Again, you rarely see Taj with 2 strikeouts, more walks than strikeouts. And for him to only become the 3rd Rays pitcher to go 7 innings in a game, and Shane Botts had the other 2 outings, so not the 3rd Rays pitcher, 3rd time this year that the Rays have only had a pitcher go 7 innings, and not have his best stuff to do it is fantastic as a Rays fan's perspective. And it is great to see, because we know how inconsistent Taj is, and he's young, and he was pitcher of the month last year. Then he was one of the worst starting pitchers in baseball for a month. And if we can just find that median, and get him more toward that pitcher of the month, the Rays have a very strong 3 or 4 right there in their rotation. As we go to Argina says Uncle Drew will deal with them tomorrow. I sure hope so. Drew Rasmussen's been really good lately, and need him to continue to be good. But most importantly, need to get some run support for him. I mean, we talked about Zach Littell finally getting his first lead as a starting pitcher last game. I think it was a 7th or 8th start. I mean, that is just incredible. The offense has to start up, and it kind of brings us back to Gary here as he talks about they have not developed significant level of consistency at Steinbrenner yet. They haven't, and I don't know why they're the only team that hasn't. I mean, they scored 17 runs that one game and haven't scored anything near that. They had the 8 runs, or I guess it was 10 runs against the Yankees in that comeback win, but they have not hit the ball consistently at Steinbrenner. And it's been frustrating as a Rays fan to watch, because they are spoiling how good this Rays pitching staff has been. So if you guys have any more comments, go ahead and drop them in. We'll get to them as we reach the end of this episode. Reminder, leave a like and comment if you're watching the replay. If you're watching live, leave a like right now, as hopefully the Rays can get back on track tomorrow. And I think tomorrow is a big game going into this stretch, because they're only home for 3 games. Then they go to New York, right? And the Rays, you're trying to win weeks, right? How can we go 4-2 this week? That should be the Rays' goal. And tomorrow's a big game in deciding that, right? You have the starting pitching advantage. You should have the lineup advantage again tomorrow, because the Royals are still struggling. And you hope that the Royals' other guys outside of Bobby Witt won't contribute like they did today. And I think Rays will be in a really good spot tomorrow. And I think tomorrow's postcast will be a better feeling, a more victorious postcast. And we get to our last comments. We go to Michael real quick before we get out of here. Feels like the road is home for the Rays so far. That's exactly right. And think about it. They got swept by Texas on the road, and we're still saying that the road feels like home because of the struggles at home. And I think that, what is it, that 16, what was it, 15, 16 game homestand really kind of put a toll on people. And I hope the Rays can find it at home. I hope that their offense can pick it up, because the offense will determine how far this team goes. And we've talked about it ad nauseum. They have a top 5 staff, I think, pitching staff. They have a top 5 bullpen. Their offense and the depth of their lineup will determine if this team is 500, 3 games below 500, or if they win 90 plus games and make the playoffs, make a wild card, win the division, compete in the division. The offense as a whole, I won't even name one player. The offense as a whole is the X factor in this season. And the best part about a loss in baseball is you only have a night to sleep on it, because you play again tomorrow. And I will be back here tomorrow with you guys again. So everyone that joined line, I appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a victorious edition of the Rays Postcast. Thank you guys, everyone, for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow.